Hello, friends. Welcome back to now the 19th edition of What the Facts, the most frequently asked questions about nutrition. Now, I'm going to deviate from the usual construct of answering a question that was asked and share with you a presentation that I gave days ago, this past Saturday on August 13th in Brooklyn, New York. And this was a part of a fifth annual BlackVegFest event, and it was at Commodore Park in Brooklyn. I'm going to give you part one because it was a 20-minute presentation, and I'm not going to try to get you to listen to me for 20 minutes. I know it's hard to pay attention that long or sit down that long. At any rate, this one will go around no more than 10 or 11 minutes. So, my presentation went like this. After I was introduced, I said, "Hi, my name is James Thompson, and I am a vegan. I'd like to thank the founder and organizers of this wonderful event. They have done a fantastic job. Now, for 25 years, I took 3 blood pressure medications and a medicine to lower my cholesterol. But it wasn't until about 10 years ago I awakened and began to realize I needed to make a dietary transformation. And folks, although it took a handful of more years, about 3 to 4 months after I went whole food plant based, I no longer needed any of my medications. Now, don't try this at home if you are not under the guidance of a doctor. Definitely take your doctor along on this journey. Let them know what you're doing so that they can guide you through the reduction and possible elimination of medications if you decide to go this route. Okay. For for years, folks, I told my patients they would never get off their blood pressure medicine or their diabetes medicine or cholesterol medicine. That's what I that's how I was trained. That's what I believed. Well, this is not going to be a vegan anonymous session out here today. No. This is going to be a medical doctor's confession. I admit I had it wrong for a number of years. My colleagues had it wrong. Many doctors out here, conventionally trained, still have it wrong as it relates to nutrition and real preventive care. So you might be wondering or asking yourself, why today am I still not being told the right things? And I'm going to give you a few reasons. Thanks for asking. One, most doctors are grossly deficient in nutrition education. It just wasn't in the fabric of our medical school training programs. Two, most doctors aren't vegan or vegetarian. So, how in the world are we going to talk to you about something we know so little about and don't do ourselves? Three, many doctors feel that there's just not enough time to talk to you about nutrition. We've got people standing over us, or they have people standing over them, uh, usually non doctors, that are prodding them to see more patients per hour. And check the boxes. Did you talk with them about the medications, possible side effects? Talk to them about screening exams. Did you talk to them about not smoking, about signs of depression, about vaccines and importance of vaccination? Well, there's very little time after all that. And lastly, many doctors feel that it would be a waste of time, that you're not going to change anyway. I don't share that opinion, by the way, but I'm just saying. This is where we were back in the 1950s and early 60s when it came to talking with patients about smoking cessation. Doctors struggle with that. Some still today. But let's move on. Nutrition experts have said for years when it comes to eating plant-based foods that we should eat the rainbow. And I find that very symbolic because as I look around at this crowd, I see a rainbow. Many colorful faces, many colorful uh, pieces of clothing, colorful food at the exhibits. Well, you know, you can find a similar rainbow in the produce section of your grocery store. That's where we should be hanging out. You can find a similar rainbow at the farmer's market or farm stand or an urban agricultural lot, or perhaps just your balcony where you're growing some veggies, or maybe just your windowsill where you're growing a few herbs. The point I'm making, folks, is plants have something unique to offer you that meat, egg, and dairy don't have, and that's fiber. Fiber is the best food for our gut. It's the perfect food that our gut loves, our gut bacteria, often referred to as the microbiome. It thrives on fiber. And our microbiome has been studied and shown to interact with every other system of our body. So it's very important. But plants have other things to offer too, like hundreds of micronutrients and vitamins and minerals. Do you know every time we buy some food, plant-based food, we are voting with our dollars for something, for a food that actually supports our gut, supports our liver, our brain, our kidneys, our immune system. And with that same effort, folks, we are reducing the number of animals that are slaughtered, exploited, and abused, which leads to the 150 million of them dying every day. Now I want to shift again now to um, allergy and asthma. There are 50 million people in this country that have allergies, and 25 million have asthma. Now, folks, those aren't trivial numbers. Not when 9 to 10 people die in this country every day from this problem. Not when African Americans make up roughly 13% of the population, but die off at 3 times the rate of whites. Folks, here in New York, about 10% of adults have asthma and a higher number of children. Well, you'll find that um, asthma is a disorder that is often undertreated in these settings. And first, we need to have an understanding of what asthma is. Asthma is an inflammatory process that involves the airways of the lung, and it can be evident at all ages, and it always involves inflammation. Inflammation is where you have overproduction of mucus, which can block the airway, can decrease airflow, and you can have constriction of the small airways of the lung, which also can block airflow. These characteristics can culminate in symptoms of cough, wheezing, shortness of breath, and chest tightness. You can have any one of those or all of them together. Now, this can be life-threatening when severe. Now, the management involves a detailed history and trying to account for what the trigger factors are. That's something I spend time doing every day, determining the allergic and the non-allergic trigger factors. Examples of non-allergic trigger factors are cold air, coals, fumes, fragrances, chemicals, even exercise, stress, and many more. Now, the treatment involves working out a plan of action, preferably a written plan of action for the patient, the parents, or family, and the use of inhalers. Sometimes pills also, but inhalers are central. Those that relieve symptoms that usually work within minutes, and those that prevent or control. They are usually steroid based. Sometimes they have medicines added to them to further control and prevent. All right, that's asthma 101. But what you often won't hear from your providers, and I'm going to stop there. because we're about 10 minutes. So if you want to hear the rest of this, stay tuned and come back next week. It's the meat of the talk is the second half, folks. Okay. My tip of the week, um, coffee drinkers out there, if you want to get more from your coffee, drink it black. Or if you don't want to drink it black, you like your coffee beige or brown, um, put some oat milk in it or soy milk, something you're not allergic to, okay, or almond milk, because the plant-based milk allow to you to still get the antioxidants. One of many antioxidants in the coffee bean is called chlorogenic acid. But these a number of these antioxidants are neutralized by dairy. When you put that creamer in there, that milk or milk product, even if it's dried, you neutralize the antacid. Not antacid. You neutralize the antioxidant capacity of that of the coffee. And there's an explanation. I don't have the time to share it with you, but you can find it. Anyway, that's my tip of the week, folks. For you coffee drinkers, I prefer decaf because of blood pressure things. But and one of these tips I'll talk to you about healthy ways your coffee should be decaf and unhealthy ways. Anyway, have a good week. Track me down on www.fearlessmd21.com. Lots of stuff on there, interfaces with my Instagram account and YouTube account. Have a great week, folks. All right. Bye.